Today we're unboxing something big, and I'm not talking about just the size, I'm talking about the power of what's inside. This is the brand new Anker SOLIX F3000. It's their longest lasting, essential home backup power station from Anker SOLIX. It's compact, it's powerful, and it's designed for home use, RV trips, and off-grid adventures. This thing is built for serious energy independence no matter how you slice it. Today we're gonna open it up and take a look at what's inside the box, and then we'll go over some of the specs and features that this new machine packs. Let's tear into it. So right off the hop, we've got our warranty card, and all Anker SOLIX products offer a 5-year warranty, which is great. You'll want to use this to register your product. Next up, we have some safety information, and if you scan this QR code, that'll take you to the user guide, where you'll have all the specs and information you'll need to operate this. Okay, over here, we've got our AC charging cable, and this is just for connecting the F3000 to a standard wall outlet. And here you can see this is the end that will plug into the F3000, and then we have our standard 15 amp receptacle here. This is our high voltage solar panel adapter. This is a little bit foreboding of what's to come. Because the F3000 can accept such a high input voltage for its solar, it uses this special connector from Anker that has a lot of advantages, including the ability to lock. And on the other side, it's designed to connect to a standard MC4 style connector for a solar panel. Okay, now let's pull this machine out. Okay, there it is. And right away, you'll notice that the F3000 feels substantial. It weighs just under 90 pounds, but thanks to its easy tow handle here and the rugged wheels that it has, it's actually surprisingly easy to wheel around. The footprint itself is about the size of a large suitcase, not even a very large one in fact, or a small cooler. It's roughly 26 by 12 by 15 inches. We can go ahead and talk about the battery life inside of this. This unit uses an LFP battery. It's a lithium iron phosphate battery that is good for 4,000 cycles, and that translates to about 10 years of regular use. It's got a capacity of 3,000 watt hours, hence the name F3000. And with a long service life like that, you can expect to get a lot of return on your investment. Now, let's go on a full tour of all of the ports and controls on the Anker SOLIX F3000. And we'll go ahead and start at the top with this ambient light. Now, this is actually a feature that I really love, and it's very handy because if the power goes out, the first thing you're gonna need is light if it's nighttime. Also, if you're camping or if you're just using this at night in your workspace, it's great to be able to get some ambient lighting with the push of a button. Now, next to that, we have the main power button, and that is the master control. That powers up the unit and gets everything ready to go. If you ever need to do a quick reset to everything, there is a small pinhole reset button just beside it. Below that is the IoT button, which connects the F3000 to the Anker app that you can use for remote control and monitoring of the F3000. Right below that, you'll see the car socket and the all-new Anderson 30 amp 12 volt DC output. This is a great addition to the F3000, and it gives you the ability to pull up to 30 amps of 12 volt DC power compared to the conventional 10 amps on previous versions of F-series units from Anker SOLIX, allowing you to power high draw DC devices without having to be limited by the 10 amps of a car socket port. If you're wiring your own connector to the Anderson port here, be sure to follow the guidelines that are included with the connector or consult an electrician to make sure you wire up to it safely. If we look just to the right of the car socket and Anderson connector, we will see that we have our 4 USB ports. We've got 2 USB-C and 2 USB-A output ports, and you can use those for charging all of the small devices that you might have around, like laptops, tablets, and cell phones. Let's go ahead and take a look at the AC output section, because that's where the Anker SOLIX F3000 really packs a punch. We'll start with the overload protection here. Now, these are 2 breakers that protect the output of the inverter on your F3000. Next to those, we have our standard NEMA 520R receptacles. Those are just like the outlets you have in your house. They're rated for 20 amps each, or 2400 watts. Next to that, we have our NEMA TT30R outlet. And that's a great way to connect to, say, an RV's existing shore power connection without the use of adapters. And of course, all of these are turned on by pushing the button right here on the top right of that AC output section. Last but not least, on the front of the F3000 is the LCD screen. This shows you real-time data like your input and output wattage, the battery percentage, and time remaining estimates. Additionally, if the unit is ever in a shutdown state because of too high or too cold of temperature, you'll see that information there. That covers all of the front panel controls and ports. Let's now take a look at the left side. The first thing we'll take a look on this side of the unit is the AC input and output port. This supports fast wall charging using a 30 amp connector and also uses the standard wall connector here for connecting to a typical 15 amp outlet. If you're going to be using other accessories from Anker SOLIX, they will also connect to that proprietary port that uses an aviation style connector for secure connection that will not come loose. Below that, we have an expansion battery port that will allow you to connect up to 3 additional expansion batteries to increase the battery capacity from 3 kilowatt hours to 12 kilowatt hours per F3000. And then next to that, we have a DC input port that you can use for connecting to a Anker SOLIX generator. It's not on the market yet, but stay tuned. Then the last thing to talk about, of course, are the rugged wheels here that make transporting this Anker F3000 a breeze. Now on the back of the F3000, you'll find the 2 solar input ports. The first is a high voltage input port that can accept up to 165 volts DC for 1600 watts of efficient solar charging using the included Anker SOLIX adapter. Next to the high voltage DC input port, you'll find a familiar shape here, and that's the XT60 connector used for connecting low voltage 60 volt max solar panels. That's an ideal place to connect flexible or portable panels, and it's good for another 800 watts of solar recharging. Now that we've talked about the ports and controls, let's talk about how it interfaces with the Anker SOLIX app. When you pair the F3000 with the Anker app, you'll get all kinds of great reminders, including ones like a reminder to unplug the generator once this is fully charged to save you fuel and runtime. It also will enable things like intelligent backup, so if a storm is coming, the F3000 can auto-charge to keep you covered if a blackout ensues after that. Now when it comes to recharging, the F3000 gives you a lot of options, starting with some of the ones we've already talked about, like the 15 amp charging cord it comes with for charging off of a standard wall outlet, or the solar panel adapter for solar recharging. In addition to that, there are adapters you can buy that will allow you to recharge this off of an EV charging station when you're on the road, or a 120 volt gas generator, or by connecting to RV shore power at a 30 amp plug. And lastly, coming soon, a new alternator charging system from Anker SOLIX that will give you up to 800 watts of recharging while you're driving. This is all just the beginning, and in our next video, we'll deep dive into the real-world performance of the F3000 and how to integrate it into your home and what it can handle under load, along with some more explanations of the features that this brings to the table. Make sure you subscribe to the Anker SOLIX channel and stay tuned, because this is the only backup power you need.